AtGames makes an announcement that is surprisingly pro-consumer, and Wonderland Amusements' Alice Goes to Wonderland pinball machine leaks early online. We're going to get into all those stories and more, but first, let's take a quick look at the news of the day. All right, our first big news story of the day is Switch 2. That's right, we are expecting the official Switch 2 announcement tomorrow, and that has seemingly been confirmed by Walmart. So let's get into this news story from Newsweek. It says the Nintendo Switch is one of the best-selling and most popular video game consoles of all time, beloved for its portability and classic Nintendo charm. Top of that, Switch has some of the best-selling games of all time of the past decade, including Smash Brothers, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, of course, Tears of the Kingdom, Animal Crossing, New Horizons, you name it. Fans have been wondering when the Switch 2 is going to drop. Well, it looks like that announcement is coming this week. In fact, it looks like it is coming tomorrow. Earlier this week, we had leaks from a known and proven whistleblower, leaker, whatever you want to call it, rumor monger within the Switch community who said this leak is coming on Thursday. But now we seem to have confirmation from Walmart. You'll see recently Walmart Canada Gaming shared a post on X with a picture of Mario peering around a curtain with the comment, "Hey Mario," followed a hand waving emoji. And there is that post from Walmart. Why is this important? Well, it seems like it's a tribute to the most well-known video game character of all time. There could be a lot more to it. Fans and experts quickly took note that the image is the same image Nintendo shared over 8 years ago when they announced the preview trailer for the NX, which was the code name for the Nintendo Switch. And so be among the first to discover the NX. Watch the preview trailer at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. Again, he is apparently coming. This coincides with multiple reports regarding a release date announcement for the Nintendo Switch 2. Sources for both Eurogamer and VGC have suggested that Nintendo will likely make an announcement this week. Shortly before Walmart Gaming Canada made the announcement, Nate the Hate, this is our famed leaker, released a video specifically stating that Nintendo will release a reveal trailer for this Thursday, January 16th. I can share with you the Nintendo Switch 2 will be revealed in the coming week, Nate the Hate said. I've been told Switch 2 will be revealed on Thursday, January 16th, just a few days from now. So there you go. That is our big Switch 2. And of course, there has been more leaks around the Switch 2 than any other Nintendo system, I think, in history. We've seen the mock-ups from various accessory manufacturers. We've seen pictures of the circuit boards. We've seen pictures from within the factories. So we think we know what we are getting with this new system. Of course, a new OLED, a larger 9-inch screen, I believe, the Joy-Cons with an extra mystery button, and of course, the new electromagnetic enhancement attachment to these things. So very interesting. We are surmising that the power of the Switch 2 is going to be that of the PS4, but relying heavily on AI and NVIDIA's DLSS. Some people are estimating that this could actually boost performance above rates of the PS4. Maybe we're talking PS4 Pro, even lower level PS5. And that is simply because of the advancements within AI. Other games lists have been leaked, and many of the games on these leak lists are current generation PS5, Xbox Series X games. And the only way those were likely to run on the Switch 2 is with beefed up DLSS. So we're excited. Can't wait to see the announcement. Hopefully that does come tomorrow, as seems to be the case. In our next story, we have, again, Iconic Arcade making headlines. These guys made a big splash last week with their announcement of the Street Fighter II Alpha and Street Fighter II World Warrior XXL arcade cabinets. And today they have been noted and featured in an article on Forbes. It says the search for my first home arcade machine just ended. And of course, this piece by Jason Evangelo, who is a noted Linux gamer, covers the release and information on these iconic arcade cabinets. He says, I played my first arcade machine in 1985 at a roller rink in Clovis, California. The game was Nintendo's iconic Donkey Kong. I never made it past level 2, but it was the seed that spawned a lifelong love of video games. 6 years later, when I plunked my quarter into Street Fighter 2 and pulled off Ryu's mighty Hadouken, I vowed then and there that someday, somehow, I would have that magical machine in my home. And of course, he is talking now about the iconic arcade Street Fighter 2. He mentions Iconic Arcade, Media 1-Up, Arcade PR, Lenovo, all these companies getting together to bring John D's vision to life. These are expected to ship again June 1 in Q2 at a price of $6.99 if you pre-order. Comes with a total of 14 games. You get that extra Captain Commando game, the 15th game if you pre-order. We are in a period of revisions, so they're looking for feedback from the community, from people interested in this. What do you think of the design? What do you think of the controls, the layout, all of the things? And they are hoping over the next month to 2 months to get changes made before they hit production. But some of the things covered in here are some of the questions people have had. So, so the lineup includes the Street Fighter 2 series, Street Fighter 2 Alpha series, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, many of which are playable online and feature leaderboards, friends list, spectate mode, I know that was the question, and multiplayer lobbies. Other notable Capcom titles like Giga Wing 2, Final Fight, and 1944, the Loop Master bundled in as well. One of the features, as you can imagine, when you're a Linux gaming journalist, you might be interested in is not only the large size of this cabinet, this 19-inch BOE screen, more room for 2 players so you're not playing right on top of each other, but he pays special attention to Raspberry Pi 5, which we know is the guts and the heart of this machine, and the Linux advantage it brings. So let's take a look. He said, so there's an absolute glut of retro devices out there, from handhelds to tabletop arcades, that are sadly locked down. They're closed systems, and you get the games you get with minimal ability to customize things or expand your game library. In those cases, it's difficult to justify the expense. I want one arcade machine to rule them all. Ideally, this is my first and last machine. The Street Fighter XXL arcade machines are powered by a Raspberry Pi 5 and a custom Linux OS, but the company assures me you can absolutely replace it with a compatible Linux distribution of your choice, such as Batacera or Recalbox, that opens up a galaxy of opportunities. The Raspberry Pi 5 is perfectly capable of emulating classic systems like the NES, Sega Genesis, and PlayStation 1, and can even reasonably handle most PS2 and Dreamcast titles. So making this the centerpiece of your retro gaming experience is totally within reach. I firmly believe that one day we'll even be able to install SteamOS on it. Adding to the potential is the Raspberry Pi 5's ports and connectivity. Since there's HDMI out functionality at up to 4K, you're covered if you want to record gameplay or even do live streamings. Gigabit Ethernet means adding ROMs to your drive over a home network are blistering speeds. Multiple USB ports and Bluetooth opens the door to additional controller speakers and even displays. And of course, we have a quote here from DMAC who says, I think the only limitations of this machine are our imaginations. So you guys know we got a first look at this last week at CES. Absolutely beautiful machines, beautiful artwork. The size feels great at that near 9/10 scale. So this is something we are readily and excitedly looking forward to here on the channel. So stay tuned for more news on iconic arcades as they come out. Next up is one of our lead stories. Of course, we are talking about AtGames. Today, they announced a new pinball pack era. That's right. Gone are the pinball pack bundles. You're now going to be able to order all titles as single game packs. That means for the Legends 4K, you can get new single packs of the Zachariah tables for $7 a table. Obviously, on the Legends HD, you can get those same tables for $5 a pack. This is a great companion to what AtGames has already been doing with Zen, where you can get most Zen tables for $5 a piece. This is a great move for AtGames because now it allows consumers to buy the tables they want who maybe held off purchasing the entire pack, which costs $35 or $25, depending on 4K or HD, respectively. And now maybe this brings down that price point for some people, which allow them to make a commitment to purchase some additional tables, which drive new revenue for AtGames. But that's not the only pro-consumer move that AtGames made today. This next one is probably the biggest. And we are talking about the new firmware update set to launch today. By the time you're viewing this, you should have already received this if you're an AtGames 4K owner. But this is a huge one. As you guys remember, early December, AtGames had a DNS transfer issue where their DNS records kind of went away, got blown away, whatever happened there. But they were down for several days, I believe around 3 full days. AtGames owners were unable to play the vast majority of their tables unless they had gone early and moved their tables into offline mode. Offline mode at the time was somewhat risky as well, because if you were to have a PCB failure and all your games are in offload or offline mode, there's no way to get them back. So this was not a good situation. I was vocal, the community is vocal, that this was unacceptable, that we cannot have our games unaccessible, especially when you're talking about a unit that costs $1,500 to $2,000 with the SSF kit on top of the expense of all those tables. Well, AtGames moved in lightning fashion. It has barely been a month since that incident, and AtGames has already pushed a firmware that is going to create an automated offline mode. That means the first time you play this game, each table as you buy it, it's going to phone home, make sure you're authorized, and then put itself into offline mode. So let's take a look here. Automated offline mode. Keep gaming even when the internet is down. Offline mode ensures uninterrupted access to your purchased table packs and arcade games with support for multiple devices. Automatically enabled upon game launch, it's perfect for when you're offline or relocating your machine. Arcade control panel support added for the improved button mapping for Legends 4K pinball devices, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for your patience during tonight's maintenance as we prepare to roll out this exciting new improved. So the way this new automated offline mode works, as I stated earlier, the first time you launch your table, it's going to go out there, authorize, get the key, and then it's going to put itself into offline mode with that authorization. So if you have an internet connection issue, if you lose Wi-Fi, if AtGames is down, that table is still gonna work. And I know you're asking, but James, what happens if I have multiple pinball machines? In offline mode, now I won't be able to access the machine, the table across the mode. And from what I have been told is they have solved that as well. What will happen is you will get a handshake. So when table 2 requests a table that table 1 is playing, table 1 will get a notification saying, hey, table 2 wants access to this game. Is that okay? And then table 1 can pass that token over, end its game there, and let the game launch legally and authorized on table 2. So this is going to be the best of both worlds. If you have multiple tables, if you have already downloaded the firmware, would love to hear from you. Let us know, how is the firmware working? Are you glad to hear this? I, for one, this is a sigh of relief, and I have to tip my hat to AtGames for both of these announcements today. They are both huge for consumers, and glad they listened, glad they took the advice of the community and have brought these features to us. So now let's get into the big story of the day. That's right, we are talking about Wonderland Amusements, Alice Goes to Wonderland. This design is about to be released on Kickstarter for pre-order. And up until now, Wonderland has been teasing us with Here's the shape of the table. Here's a mock-up of the playfield. Here's a clip of a beta or pre-release test of the playfield. Here's the artist. Here's what the back glass is probably going to look like. But we have yet to really see that table in its full glory. Well, while this announcement is likely coming soon, maybe as early as tomorrow, the table design has leaked early. And as you can see here, we see the full table in all its glory. We see that playfield with the painted sides, those art blades on the sides. We have a back that's all painted. We're starting to see where we have the toadstools with the Cheshire Cat. We have the Mad Hatter's table. We see the art in the middle of the table coming to life with all the different game designs. We can see the DMD and the score across the back glass. Of course, we were tipped off by Wonderland last week that they are headed back to China to take a look at the latest design of this table, the latest prototype, which will have all the art installed. We'll have gameplay, the full game code in place so they can actually get a full test of this table. And we are already seeing it come together. Again, we've seen this castle before, but now we see it backlit with that red glow back there. We see the card ramps, some really cool and nice touches. It also looks like they've moved those front bumpers back from the flippers. So there was a lot of concern the way the ball came down that it would trap those flippers. It looks like they have been shifted a bit. So that is good news. What other things can we see here? Man, there's just a lot of great design. Of course, you see the apron up front has full complete art showing the rabbit on the right, and it looks like more of the card soldiers for the Queen of Hearts. Lots of cool design and art inside this table. It really pops. It really looks like a pinball machine that we all can be excited about for something that is targeted under $1,000. As we move up to the back box, of course, you see the side art with looks like the Mad Hatter on the right. We've got the back glass, which we've already seen. Of course, the DMD with the score, the different game mode indicators at the bottom, and those speakers. But this is where things kind of go off the rails a bit. The side art. Like, as of right now, the side art on this pinball machine is the solid black or gray with the Alice Goes to Wonderland logo. Where are those beautiful works of art or tapestries, for lack of a better word, those big splash graphics that we are used to seeing on pinball tables? They're missing here. Wonderland Amusements, I hope you're listening. I hope you guys see this. You've got to fix that. I realize it may add to the price to have Carlos Mendoza III commission more art for the right and left, but you need it. You cannot go with just that solid black and the logo on the side. This is the opportunity to really draw people into the game, tell more of the story through the art on those side graphics. We really need those. So hopefully it's not too late. Hopefully they can get those added, because that will be a huge game changer into how this thing looks and how well it does. I think people will be disappointed with that solid black look. We really need that graphics so that this machine stands out in home arcades. But I can tell you right now, looking at the playfield, this has me excited. They clearly have put a lot of thought into this. Let's just wait and see when the gameplay trailers and clips release, hopefully soon, just how this plays, just how the game works. Because right now, it's pretty exciting to see this thing come to life more than ever. I'm really excited at the look of this playfield. Very imaginative, very playful. Let's just hope it plays half as good as it looks. So that was our news for today, guys. What did you think of that Wonderland pinball machine? Are you happy that AtGames has made these choices with the automated offline mode and the single pinball packs. And of course, who can't be excited about that iconic arcade Street Fighter 2? And of course, the console of all consoles, the king of home video games, Nintendo, and that Switch 2 announcement coming any time now. Let me know in the comments below. And of course, be sure to hit subscribe, smash the like button, ring the bell for notification, all that stuff, because it really does help the channel. And until next time, guys, have fun.